All right, I think we are good to start. Thank you so
Yep.
much, guys. Good morning, good evening, everyone, as per their time zones. Thank you so much for joining our today's session. So, this is a special event which is basically related to TrailheaDX Global Gathering 2020. And today we have two special guests with us. Let me introduce them one by one. So, we have a very well-known personality in Salesforce ecosystem, Kelly Walker. Hi, Kelly.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks for joining. So, guys, just a brief introduction about Kelly. So, Kelly is a senior Lightning adoption consultant working at Salesforce, and I think everybody already know Kelly leading a Lightning Champion program as well. And so, rest of Kelly will explain as further we will go, and our next special guest is Satya Shekhar. I think everybody knows Satya in the Indian community, Salesforce community, as well as a global as well. And so, hey Satya,
Hi, Sushant. Hi, everyone joining us today. Welcome here.
thank you so much Satya for joining today, and we are hoping for a good session. So, guys, Satya is a senior developer evangelist working at Salesforce, and Satya is also part of India Dev Relation team. And yeah, so I think this is all we are for our introduction, and I think let's go ahead with our awesome sessions. So, Kelly, would you like to start first?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So thank you everyone for joining. My name is Kelly Walker, Senior Adoption Consultant. I've been working on Lightning for the last 3 or so years and have had the amazing pleasure of working with the Lightning champions, really just evangelists in the community who love Lightning. As we shift into the new year, we've moved into a little bit of a different focus as it relates to my team and my teammates. And here we're really passionate about security. Particularly when it comes to securing your org and the access to it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just want to make sure you can see. And I'll just stop my video just so that I can make sure I have the best bandwidth here. So here I just want to make sure you're seeing my screen.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, with security in mind, what I want to talk to you about today is multi-factor authentication and how you can use it to really secure your org's access as it relates to your users logging in. Now, this is for products built on the Salesforce platform. So we'll cover what clouds it covers. It's not everything yet. So if you're using certain feature areas or certain clouds, you may not yet have the ability to utilize multi-factor authentication, but we'll get into that in a few slides. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything really that's coming or on the roadmap, but we do just have to remind you that we are a publicly traded company, and with that, anything that I say, please make your purchasing decisions based on what's currently and readily available within the application, not based on something I may say is coming with a future release. We have a few things to cover, really what multi-factor authentication is and why it's important. Don't worry if you have never heard multi-factor authentication before, we'll give you a good rundown here. Then we'll talk about what that means for Salesforce and the solutions that we have for it. Just kind of talk through the phases in which we have proposed you take to roll out MFA. And then I'll just show you within a 3-minute video how quickly it is to set it up in your org, and then provide you with some resources and next steps. Now, hopefully everyone knows that Salesforce takes security and trust very personally and very strongly. And And we understand that for you, really the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data is vital to your business and to your customers and how you serve them. And we take the protection of that data very seriously. And if you look kind of in the ecosystem of what's happening, kind of the temperature of what's happening around the world, there is an increase in security threats. More people are working from home, and with that remote access, there are greater security concerns. And so it's really essential for you, our customers, to implement stronger measures of account access to protect your company data, your businesses, and your customers. So it's really a partnership that we have with our customers to make your org as secure as possible. Hopefully you know that we build security into everything that we do, but our commitment to delivering secure products is really only half the story, because security is something that we share responsibility for. So as a developer or an admin for your business, really you are critical in safeguarding your data and your customers' data. Your Salesforce data is valuable and could be the target of what we refer to as bad actors, those who have ill intent and are looking to do some illegal things with whatever they may be able to get their hands on. So a key part of your security strategy really is safeguarding access to your Salesforce users' accounts. And that's where MFA comes into play. So one of the simplest, most effective ways to prevent unauthorized account access and protect your Salesforce products and your data is through employing multi-factor authentication. I just want to pause here because you may have heard of two-factor authentication. For our purposes, it really is synonymous. You'll also still see in setup that we have two-factor authentication listed. Not to be confused, it just really is that two-factor authentication is two factors are required to more or less prove you are who you say you are. In a multi-factor authentication, you could have two or more methods that you incorporate. So just something to keep in mind, but of course, it is going to be synonymous for our purposes. Now, if you've never heard of MFA before, MFA short for multi-factor authentication, it adds an extra layer of security to your login process by requiring users to verify their identity with those additional pieces of evidence or factors to prove that they are who they say they are. So one factor is something that you know, as you see here with your login credentials, your username and password, and then your additional verification method would be something that the user has. So maybe a code from an authentication app, as we see here, or a security key, something that they have in their possession. For MFA, as it relates to Salesforce, we just want to let you know that we support strong verification methods only. We'll get into what that means in a little bit, but just keep that in mind, that an authentication app or a security key, something you have in your possession, is what we support for MFA. Now, if you think about MFA agnostic or outside of Salesforce, you may be utilizing this every day. So if you have a a banking app on your phone or a credit card app, maybe you go to the ATM. Well, in that case, you are logging into your app, and then maybe they're sending you a text message with a code, or at the ATM to pull out cash, you are using your card, something you physically have, and your PIN, something that you know. So there are a lot of different ways that we verify that we are who we say we are outside of Salesforce. We're just really bringing that into the security of our orgs. Now, using username and passwords alone really does not provide sufficient protection because it's easy for those individuals with ill intent, those bad actors, to exploit weak or reuse passwords through common types of attacks like phishing, maybe credential stuffing, some of the others that you'll see on the right-hand side of the slide here. Phishing is really one of the most successful attack vectors, and it was in 2019. I don't know if anyone here has ever been a victim of phishing, but it can come through an email that looks legitimate. Maybe it has a legitimate looking email address. Maybe it's taking you to a site that looks familiar, but it could take you to a site that really is not appropriate. They're asking for you to log in, adding your username and password, and at that point, they've just captured it. So first of all, we want to make sure that you're cautious and wary of what you're opening and what links you're clicking on, but then also what information you're providing, because you could be providing information that could be reused to access your Salesforce org. The good thing about MFA, though, is that it protects against attacks because it ties user access to multiple and different types of authentication factors, making it much harder for threats like phishing attacks to succeed, ultimately making your Salesforce environment safer from unauthorized and unintended access by bad actors. All right. Now, here are some oh, sorry, I skipped a slide. Here are some solutions as it relates to MFA within Salesforce. You know what? Actually, no, sorry. Sorry, I'm all over with the slides here. But back to here. So options for securely accessing Salesforce accounts. One thing that I want to do is just define what MFA is compared to some of these other things that you may be using. So device activation. Device activation, if you're not familiar with it, requires a user to use a verification method as a second factor when accessing Salesforce from an unrecognized browser or application. So when a user logs in from an unrecognized browser or app, Salesforce challenges the user to verify their identity. When device activation, or while it provides protection, it does have some limitations because it doesn't apply to every login, and users can use email or SMS, which we don't consider strong verification methods for verifying your identity. Device activation is is sometimes confused with MFA because it requires a second factor, but the significant difference between the two is that MFA requires a second factor every time your users log in, and the factor is required to be a strong verification method. Again, we'll dive into that in just a bit. MFA supports these strong verification methods. The Salesforce Authenticator app, WebAuthn, YubiKey in terms of a security key, or a time-based one-time password or passcode authentication app. Now, SSO, on the other hand, is another thing that you may be using. It's a great way to improve your user's login experience, and it also reduces some of the risks associated with weak or reused passwords. So if your users regularly access multiple apps in the course of their day, we would strongly suggest that you use a single sign-on with an identity provider to further secure Salesforce and other applications. With a well-implemented SSO strategy, you really can reduce password-related risks, improve authentication processes, and bonus, make it easier for your users to log into those frequently used apps. Do consider, though, that passwords are commonly targeted by attack methods, such as phishing, as we talked about, and so there's still a chance that your user accounts could be compromised if SSO relies solely on their credentials. If you have an SSO solution, as you see here in the bottom right corner, we strongly recommend enabling MFA for your identity provider as an additional safeguard. Okay, so now let's talk about those strong factors. So as mentioned, Salesforce supports strong verification methods only. So that is a method that a user has in their possession. Depending on what Salesforce products you use and what's right for your org, what's right for your users, we would support these different verification methods here. Again, you can use a mix of all three or just one. It's really up to you in terms of what the needs of your users and your organization are. The first thing is the Salesforce Authenticator mobile app. It's fast and it's free. It's a great way for you to quickly and easily implement MFA. You'll see it in my demo in just a little bit here. If though you're already using a third-party time-based one-time password authenticator apps such as Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or Authy, you can use that for Salesforce Access as well. And then physical security keys. So utilizing USB, Lightning, or NFC, you can utilize YubiKey or Google's Titan security key. Now, you, again, can choose the option or options that work best for you and your business and your user needs, but we do not support SMS text verification or email verification for MFA. And that really is because these credentials could be compromised. Text messages can be intercepted. It really is a lot harder for bad actors to get control of an actual mobile device or physical security key than it is to infiltrate an email account or hack a cell phone number. The other thing I'll say about utilizing one of these cell phone mobile apps is that we would also heavily encourage you to make sure that you have some sort of biometric or code to access the phone itself. Now, I know that I started out saying, and I've said it at least one time during the presentation, that MFA is not available for every cloud or every product today. These are the products that, support MFA today. We are hard at work developing MFA functionality for all other Salesforce products though, so do stay tuned if you're using something that you don't explicitly see here. We'll definitely be in touch with updates and resources as MFA becomes available for those additional products, so do keep an eye out for that. Now, with any change, we of course need to think about our users and how they're going to react to it. So we've put together 3 phases on this recommended path to MFA. Get ready, which really is where the majority of our users and customers are. It's maybe where you are today. You're just learning about what MFA is. Maybe you don't necessarily know what security factors or features your company is currently. So we need to start diving into understanding what's already available and evaluating our business and our user requirements for something such as MFA. Inventorying our users, and then planning for the rollout, change management, and support strategies that follow in the subsequent phases. The one thing I really want to dive into here, though, is inventorying your users, roles, and permissions. I don't know if you've ever worked with a company where you've had pretty much everyone is a system admin. Not to say that their role within your organization is system admin, but their profile is. So they have access to do everything and anything. They have open access to all records, etc. Now, chances are we don't need everyone to be a system admin. And so we really want you to look at who your users are, what profiles they have, what permissions they've been granted through permission sets, and the roles that they hold in the role hierarchy, and really apply the rule of least privilege and scale back on some of the permissions that they don't need, so that you're further securing really what your users have access to once they log in. Should anything happen and a bad actor gain control of one of your users' accounts, we want to make sure that they really are limited in terms of what they can do, so that your users, when they're legitimately logging in, really only need what they really only have what they need to do their job. So something that we can start to do today, and start to scale back where appropriate. And then we move into rollout. So we're really kicking off these change management activities. We're trying to get people excited, or at least educated as to why it's important. We're distributing the different verification methods to users based on what works well for them. Is it the mobile app? Is it the security key? We're then turning it on, and we're helping our users get registered so that they can quickly log in the next time after having MFA enabled for them. And then, of course, after rolling it out, there will be support activities. So we want to make sure we are managing our rollout in the most efficient and effective manner, having a team to support our users if appropriate, and then really asking our users what their sentiment is, understand what feedback or adoption concerns that they may have, monitoring how well it's being adopted, and then thinking about potential other ways to optimize your overall security strategy. Is it implementing Lightning Login? Is it implementing an SSO? Something for you to really consider after securing your org through that rollout. Now, when you're ready to go live with MFA, there are two steps. There's a step for admins where we enable MFA for users. Really, it's just creating a permission set and assigning that permission set to users. But on our user side, it's a little bit more to do. We have to obtain that verification method. Is it the security key? Is it the app? We then connect the method to our account and log in using our username and password, something we know, and then the registered method, something we have. So what I want to do is really just show you how easy that is to turn on MFA. Of course, there are other things to consider as it relates to your broader security landscape. But for anyone that may be concerned in terms of the difficulty, I'll show you again within like a 3-minute video what that entails. In order to set up MFA, as you'll see in my demo, you'll need a Salesforce org, Salesforce admin permissions, a mobile device, and the Salesforce Authenticator app. That's what we'll be using for our demo. And if you really have no feelings one way or another towards authentication apps, I would strongly encourage you to consider the Salesforce Authenticator app. And then we'll create that permission set, assign it to our users, and register the Salesforce Authenticator for use in MFA logins. Here's just a brief overview of the Salesforce Authenticator app. As mentioned, it's fast, frictionless, and free. You'll see that when your users go to log in, they'll basically be presented with multiple details in terms of who's trying to log in, where they're trying to log into, from what device, and from what location. There's some additional settings that you, the admin, can decide are right for your users, such as allowing your users to have an auto approval if you're always logging in from the same location. You can then approve or deny. If you don't recognize it, of course, deny it. Or if you do, then you can quickly approve. Okay, so with that, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like to enable MFA within your org. So this is pre-recorded just because I always mess up or something always happens to me in demos. So I've recorded it for today. We're going into the permission set. If you've never created a permission set, it really is just a matter of creating a new one, giving it an appropriate name. MFA for user logins is appropriate here. And then deciding what permissions to include within this permission set. So for MFA, it's a system permission. So I'll go into system permissions and then scroll all the way down to my MFA permission here. Now this again is called two-factor authentication for user logins. We will be changing the names over the next few releases. So we're moving away from two-factor into multi-factor. So just something to keep in mind. With that saved, I just need to go ahead and assign my permission set. So I'll do that for my user. One thing you didn't see just because I scrolled down so fast is that we also have the ability for you to delegate some MFA responsibilities. So if you want some help from someone who's not an admin, then you can go and give them that permission to help you manage two-factor authentication, create one-time passcodes if someone forgets their phone at home, something like that. So I've just logged out, and as I log back in, you'll see that I'm now presented with the Connect Salesforce Authenticator screen. Now on my mobile device here, I'm going to open the Salesforce Authenticator app and just add an account. As you'll see, it gives me a two-word phrase, which I enter onto my desktop. And connect. It will then make sure that I'm connecting to the appropriate account. I've confirmed the username and service. I'll go ahead and connect. And just like that, I've added my account and I've logged in. I'll just quickly log out and log back in to show you that from there, they're push notifications. So when your users try to log in after connecting that verification method, we will push the notification, and then we'll see those details like we saw in the slide before. So each subsequent time after connecting it, I'm going to see the username, the service, the device, and with location services enabled, I would see where I'm logging in from. So I'll go ahead and approve. And just like that, I am now able to access the org. All right. So like I said, it really is quite quick and easy, but it does require some planning before you just turn it on for everyone in your org. Take that inventory of users and then start with the users that have the most permissions, like a Salesforce admin, because those are the most targeted accounts that those bad actors go after. Okay. Now, I want to be respectful of time, so I don't know if we'll have time for a Q&A, but I do have some additional resources. So we have some great trails out there on Trailhead, or great modules rather, on Trailhead that speak to just security threats in general, the security landscape, and then user authentication. Diving into MFA, 2FA, things like My Domain and SSO as well. We have a great ebook for you to understand how to roll it out. We're working to update that with even more information, so something that I would recommend you bookmark. We have a video that basically just walks you through what I just did to help you set up MFA for your org. And then we have an awesome group on the Trailblazer community called MFA Getting Started. So any questions that you have, I would encourage you to post them there. We have individuals from the security team, so these are security experts, and others from my adoption team that are there really ready and willing to help answer any questions that you may have. We also have the ability for you to join a user research program. So if you want to help shape the future of existing products, new designs and concepts, we encourage you to join the user research program. You can just take a picture of that that QR code there, or the link is actually listed below. So with that, I don't know, I'm sorry if I took up too much time. I don't know if we have time for questions. Otherwise, I would just encourage you to head to the Trailblazer community, and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have there.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much for that awesome session. I think you have explained it really, really well. And guys, please post your questions in the chat window. And Kelly, yes, we do have some time to take care of that. We are going to have a very quick Q&A session here, guys. So I see some of the questions, Kelly. If you can see the chat window, if you can just scroll all the way up, and if you see any question, just quickly sift through it and answer those questions. That would be great.
Yeah, I'll work to answer those questions. Do you want me to do it just live here, or?
Yeah, let's take up some of the questions, like 4 to 5 questions here live, and then I'm pretty sure these guys will head over to the places that you have kind of presented here in the presentation.
Yeah. So we have a great question. I believe it's from Ahai Nim. Does Salesforce MFA work in conjunction with SSO? If yes, what happens if both Salesforce MFA and SSO MFA are enabled? So the two can work together, but we would encourage you to put MFA at the SSO identity provider level so that it secures all of the apps that are within your SSO, but then it also makes for a seamless transition into Salesforce. There's really nothing stopping you from putting MFA onto Salesforce itself. It would just be your users would click on the Salesforce tile or whatever you have within your SSO, and then they would be asked to authenticate in. As I mentioned, I would recommend you move that really to the SSO side within the identity provider, and then they would just click in Salesforce, they would be logged in, and they would still be secured by MFA for your SSO. How can we use, oh, this is the pool. How can we use MFA in case of integration user? So that's a great question. So an integration user may be someone that, or maybe a user that you give permission to. I am not sure what type of profile, probably like a sysadmin, but I would say for that integration user, maybe not utilizing MFA, but I can definitely follow up on that with the broader team to see maybe what best practices are. Oh, okay. Akash said MFA is not required for integration user because we use that session ID or auth token. Thank you for answering that. Okay. Suryan said, can you add the URL here to join the research? I sure can. Okay. And then Apar, how to use third-party app for MFA? So you would just need that third-party app like a Google Authenticator app or a Microsoft Authenticator app. There's Authy out there. When you go to log in, you'll still be presented with that same Salesforce Authenticator screen, but then there's a link to connect a different device. And then one thing that works well with those other those other applications is if you're ever not connected to the internet, you can just go in and find the code and add it to the Salesforce screen upon login. So there are a few different options out there for different authentication apps. Usually we'll see that customers are already using like Microsoft Authenticator. They can just tie that right into Salesforce as well. Krishan just asked, what's the difference between MFA and 2FA? So multi-factor authentication could require more than one additional verification method. So you could potentially do the authentication app and a hardware security key, but not required. 2FA is just that. It's just one additional verification method beyond your username and password. So really, like I said, for our purposes, they're synonymous. Outside of Salesforce, there may be places where more than just one additional factor is required. Do we have a Chrome extension for Salesforce Authenticator app? I am not sure about that, but I can definitely look into that. So I'll take any questions that I didn't answer here, and I'll just record those. I'll try to either answer them here or give the answers to Shashank after. Some will require me to ask the broader security team for their input and best practices, but I'll definitely work to get everything answered. And of course, outside of today's presentation, we'd love to see you on the Trailblazer community group, MFA Getting Started, where you can ask anything else. Okay, and I'm just gonna throw this link in the chat if you are interested in being part of the research, because I know that came up. So do join if you are interested. Okay, with that, I want to thank you all so much for allowing me to come and present, and I hope that you found it useful for you and your org.
Definitely, Kelly. Thank you very much for that awesome session, for that very, very informative session. Thank you. And again, thank you very much for coming on board. And this is, I think, we have been doing these global gatherings for quite some time. Since the time TDX has been going on, and it is always great. It always Salesforce comes out with great content, and we have always been able to, get people like you with great content and great knowledge into our session. So thank you very much for coming on board and sharing all this awesome content with us. Thank you. Awesome. Great. So guys, again, I hope, and I'm actually very sure Kelly has answered a lot of your questions. If you have any more questions, just head out to the resources that Kelly has shared with you. I think those are the best places to visit and ask these questions further. Again, you can also reach out to Kelly on her Twitter. Kelly, I hope you wouldn't mind that. And you're going to be bombarded with a lot of questions now, Kelly. Right. So that's that, and let's move on to Shekhar. Satya. Hey Satya, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, Atul.
Awesome. So Satya, if you can take over, and
Sure.
yeah, let's start with your session. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. I hope you're gonna stay and yeah, and see Satya's presentation as well. Great.
Right.
Thank you.
One second.
Sure.
Should be right there. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Satya, we are.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, let me quickly let people see me for some time. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm super excited and feeling awesome to be with you all and share the highlights from the first virtual TrailheaDX. I'm so glad that today I'm able to spend good time with you all, along with Kelly Walker, who has joined from US. And thank you so much, Kelly, for that. And your session was really awesome. I enjoyed every bit of it. And I would also like to thank Sushant, Atul, and Vishal, who are doing all this stuff for us. Before even I start my presentation, let me make some forward-looking statement. In this session, I might be talking about few of the things that are forward-looking. If at all you are making any purchase decisions, please base your decisions on what are currently available on the platform. With that said, let me introduce myself. In fact, Atul and other people have introduced me, but still I want to introduce myself as Satya, Sekhar, Senior Developer Evangelist from Salesforce, and I work with APAC Developer Relations team. Okay, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Delhi Developer Group leaders, which I already done, but still I might express any number of thanks. It'll even be shorter. And I again thank them for making this event happen. I thank everyone who has joined this gathering. And I thank the Ohana for making the Salesforce platform so awesome. With that said, let's get into the actual session. Many of you know that TrailheaDX is a technical event and it is filled with fun and knowledge sharing. So it's not just technical event, it also has fun and it has a lot of announcements and advancements of the platform. And the event started with a pre-show filled with fun by Leah McGowan and the world-renowned musical guest Jennifer Hudson. I loved the songs she sang on that day. I really enjoyed. I was up from start to end of the event. And it had 4 concurrent channels running. Each channel was filled with content-rich sessions of latest features of the platform. Each session was called as a content episode, and there were 36 episodes altogether over these 4 broadcast channels. It had 9 special sessions called as Circles of Success, and the event is filled with 45 plus product demos. And good news is all these sessions are now available for you to watch again. In this session, I'm going to cover the highlights from the keynote and also some of the highlights from these channels. With that said, let's start with the keynote highlights. It all started with the exploring the power of Salesforce Customer 360 platform and how the trailblazers innovate fast, scale with confidence, and empower everyone using this platform. The Salesforce Customer 360 gives you a single source of truth, a single view of your customers across sales, customer service, marketing, commerce, communities, and more. At the center of this innovation is the Salesforce platform, empowered with intelligence. That's what you can see there, our customer who is having a single source of truth shared across all the clouds. And each of the clouds around that help business to create trusted, connected experience for its customers. And the developers are empowered with the platform tools on the right to build flexible applications fast. Just a month ago, Salesforce even introduced a whole new product, work.com, to help everyone reopen safely. This product was not even on the roadmap in March, but because of the power of the platform, Salesforce were able to have a completely new product in market this May. Platform is like a magical set of building blocks. You can put them together to build whatever you want, you can imagine. And one such imagination brought to life, and one of my favorite that was announced in the keynote was Salesforce Anywhere. Salesforce Anywhere helps you experience Salesforce in a whole new way with a chat-first experience. You can subscribe to alerts and be notified across desktop and mobile device. It allows you to collaborate in context, which means you can message and share Salesforce data with individuals and groups with chat, voice, and video embedded right within your business process. Lastly, it allows you to take action in the moment, and also it gives you suggestions based on the artificial intelligence. And recently, Brett Taylor, And recently, Brett Taylor has tweeted the availability of the Salesforce Anywhere mobile app on the App Store. That was an announcement made during the keynote. Along with that announcement, there were some sneak peeks. So there were 3 sneak peeks that were featured during the keynote event. That was all about DevOps Center, Code Builder, and Salesforce functions. We know developer can use version control for their modern development, but what about admins? Admins and other declarative developers can now build against source control, collaborate better with programmatic developers, release apps faster, and do so with modern workflows like continuous integration and delivery. And the next sneak peek was a very interesting sneak peek. It was all about Code Builder. And Code Builder is a new web-based developer environment optimized for Salesforce and powered by Microsoft Visual Studio Code Spaces. We'll talk more about it a little later. And then the next one was functions, which was previously announced in Dreamforce 2019. And these evergreen functions are now renamed as Salesforce functions to make it easier for customers to understand our products and how they fit together. But at the same time, evergreen as a brand name will be discontinued going forward, but at the same time, it's going to remain as the name of the underlying runtime. That was a very quick overview of the keynote. So now let's see some session highlights. Let's start with the admin session highlights. And the first session, which I loved most, was about dynamic experiences to walkthroughs. This session by Shubhankar, Farhan, and Tim covered the updates on dynamic forms and actions and in-app guidance. The first update is about dynamic forms and actions, most requested feature on Idea Exchange. Dynamic forms and actions allow you to customize pages by dragging and dropping individual fields onto the layout. Each field behaves like an individual component, which means the field visibility can be controlled using the filters on the app builder itself. And the second update was about in-app guidance. We know that we can set up prompts using in-app guidance, but let's see what's new with summer release. You can now offer multiple step prompts, or what we call as walkthroughs. Let me see if I can share that part of my screen. Just a second. There may be a little pause in between. Never mind. I would try to do it. Okay, let's see what's there in in-app guidance. Oops. By the way, I just wanted to check whether you are able to see my demo screen. Atul, can you please confirm?
Not now, Satya.
Okay, let me do it again then. How about now?
I can see it, Satya.
In-app guidance setup page is much same as in the previous releases. But now you can note that there are walkthroughs in the type of guidance. Alright, let's take a look at the existing walkthrough. It launches the first step, which highlights the recently viewed list in the Opportunities tab, recommending to pin the list. When you click on Next, it navigates into the first record. In this step, it talks about Highlights panel for summary information. Click Next one more time. It will bring into the Details section. And here, it's telling that you can go ahead and make some changes. Let's do it. Now, when I click next, it navigates to the whole new app and new page. Here we are ending on a doc prompt. Here we have a video which can play inline. This allows the user to get the information right from the app. You can also see that we can add action to navigate to a link. Now, let's get back to setup page and see how the walkthrough was created. Let's edit the walkthrough. Notice the new builder in the summer 20 release. There is a right panel to choose the type of the prompt for each step, and the left panel shows each step, and rest of the app is running in the middle, and you can just navigate around the app. You can click next in the right panel to define the prompt, and by clicking on each step in the left panel you can navigate around the walkthrough. You can also easily reorder or add step, and that's it. You can so easily create a walkthrough, and all of the guidance is packageable and reportable. Okay, so that was a quick demo. Now I believe you are able to see my presentation screen.
Yes, we can, Satya.
Awesome, awesome, cool. So yeah, the next update was about how to digitize your business fast with automation. This was one of the sessions done by Alex Edelstein, and he talked about the flow triggers. And starting summer 20, you now have the ability to trigger flows on a record change or update. You can also trigger a flow whenever a platform event is received. To make building flows easier, we launched automation components, which have pre-built components to help you build flows even faster. With Einstein Next Best Action, you can add point and click decisioning support to your automations and processes. Flow is becoming even more powerful coming in winter 20. To Flow is the ability to have multiple column screens. In fact, you can have up to 12 columns. This means you can have multiple fields on the same row, images next to fields, and blank columns can be used to achieve extra layout precision. So that was all about the admin sessions. Let's also cover a couple of architect sessions. This slide might look familiar if you would have ever worked with integrations. Yes, it illustrates the API-led approach of the MuleSoft. At the very bottom, you can see the adapters for ServiceNow, Jira, etc. Then you have three layers: system APIs at the bottom, and then process APIs for business processes, and experience APIs for end user experiences. Each of these APIs can be built separately and integrated together. But what if someone wants to build an integration based on an existing set of APIs, which is built using best practices? MuleSoft provides such integrations as assets. For instance, you can use the Service Cloud integration on the left side as an asset in your project. All such assets are now packaged in our newest offering, MuleSoft Accelerator for Salesforce Clouds. Accelerator is a joint MuleSoft and Salesforce solution that help you implement critical integrations faster and easier than ever before. Developers can save up to 60% of their implementation time using the Accelerator. So what's included with the Accelerator? APIs, integration templates to connect to common endpoints, some reference architectures, and support for LWC components, and last but not least, common services such as logging, notification, and scheduling. In total, we have over 40 assets that cover two use cases: Service Cloud and Commerce Cloud. But you can modify or extend any of these assets to your unique needs. And it's easy. Use our drag and drop feature, or if you want to code, modify the XML configs using our Anypoint Studio or IDE for building integrations and APIs. This session, which you are seeing on the slide currently, is a session about this MuleSoft and the API-led approach that helps you deliver projects fast. And it also covers MuleSoft Accelerator, which helps you move even faster with these 40 pre-built integration assets I was talking about. You can watch this session for a nice demo on how to use those assets. And one more thing which I want to cover in the from the architect sessions is that customer 360 guide. We know that customer 360 is a powerful set of building blocks that allow your company to build amazing experiences for your customers. But how do you get started? Trailhead is introducing customer 360 guides. It is available today and it is free. The good news is you don't have to start from the scratch. Built on the success of many trailblazers, customer 360 guides are proven architectures, blueprints, and best practices that empower you to achieve your customer 360. These guides help you to learn from the success of other trailblazers, discover how you can achieve your business goals, and it helps you implement your solution faster. Watch this session by Luba to see a demo on how you can start using customer 360 guides. So that was all about the architect sessions and the most awaited developer sessions. My first update from the developer sessions is this very nice session by Asavari Thayal and Joe Kutner, who have talked about the Salesforce functions. As I said earlier, Salesforce Evergreen is now called Salesforce Functions, and it is the latest addition to the Salesforce platform. What are Salesforce functions? In simple words, it's a functions as a service offerings. It gives you the ability to write custom code in the language of your choice and run it on demand and at scale on the cloud. So functions can be built using open source programming languages like Java or Node, leveraging the libraries from Node.js like NPM. And then you can develop using your favorite tools like CLI and Visual Studio Code. How do you use it? Because they are a native part of the platform, functions can seamlessly integrate with other declarative and programmatic tools of the platform. To learn more, watch this session. But again, I'll see if I can share a demo from this session, which is very much similar to what is done in this session. Just allow me a second. Can you see my screen?
We still see your presentation. Satya.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the problem. Just allow me a second, please.
Yes, Satya, now we can see that.
You can see, awesome. We are currently in contact record page where we can upload the financial documents related to this account. Since the documents are highly sensitive, when we upload them, we want to add watermark to this image. How can we do that? Since Node supports open source libraries and we have libraries that support image manipulation, we'll use one of those to build a Node Salesforce function for the image manipulation functionality. Let's have a look at the code. Here I'm in the VS Code project and we'll see how we can add the watermark functionality. Here we are using GIMP watermark library. We can get the contact document ID from the incoming platform event, and we can use the helper routine to add the watermark functionality to the last file that was uploaded. Finally, we can grab the new version of the image and attach it to the contact and write this update back to the Salesforce org. Let's test it locally by invoking a mock function against the data in our Scratch org. Let's see what happened. When we go back to the org, you can now see the new image, and when you click that, you can see the confidential watermark on it. Now let's see how it works in production by invoking the function from flows. Here we are in the flow builder where we have implemented the flow which automatically calls the function when a new document is uploaded. Let's activate that flow. Now let's go back to the contact and upload a new file and see what happens. It automatically creates the watermark version of the file which is created by our function, and it is the same function that we have built and tested locally, and now it is live in our org. This was a simple use case. You can think of more complex use cases and build it. Okay, so hope you can now see my presentation back. Sorry guys, I'm using this for the very first time, Zoom app, so I'm just checking how the sharing is happening in between. Yep, hope you all can see my presentation now. Cool. So let's go ahead. So that was the very first update I wanted to give from the developer channel. The next update is all about Apex, our favorite programming language. And Apex is a solution for code on Salesforce platform, as you all know. And it was first released in 2006. And I can say that it has backward compatibility. That means what? Whatever code you would have written in 2006, if you want to execute that code in the currently available platform, you can still do that. Coming in winter 20, we are adding a new language operator that exposes special behavior for null handling, and it handles any Apex type, be it a variable, property, or method calls. So let's quickly see a demo for this as well, so that it will be easy for you to understand what and how this new operator looks like and how to use this new operator. So for that, I'm going to again bring my demo. Let me share my screen. And this time, I believe I should be able to share the screen without asking multiple times. Okay, cool. So let's see what.
This is the Apex class, which gets the partition dynamically from platform cache. Here, we are checking conditions like partition doesn't exist using null check. And then we are fetching the data and handle another null check to see whether the data has come properly or not. Now, let's see how the same code looks like when we use safe navigation operator. You can see that we handle all the null checks in a single line using safe navigation operator.
Okay, that was a very quick demo of how you can use the safe navigation operator, right? If you see the syntax on this slide, it is a very simple syntax. You have something like question dot. And if you see there how it returns the values, say for instance, if you see the third bullet point where you can see if foo is not null, then it is going to call bar. And if bar is not null, then it's going to call a method called size. So that's how you can chain all these different statements and bring down it to a single line of code. Along with safe navigation operator, one more feature that was showed in this session and currently in open pilot is Apex finalizers. Finalizers solve one of the biggest pain points with asynchronous code, making sure asynchronous code is executed in order. You can watch this session recording to see how Kevin has built and ordered the promises using finalizers. Also, don't miss to watch this session because it also had some important things about how Apex is going to come up, that is Apex roadmap. The next updates are about Einstein language and Einstein vision APIs, which are two of our primary focus areas. Let's first check the updates in Einstein language. We have two new features with summer 20 release. The first is support of multiple languages feature. Now we have 5 additional European languages: French, Italian, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. And the second one is a new Einstein language service called Einstein NER, which stands for Name Entity Recognition. With NER, customers can recognize different entities such as name, location, date and time in a body of text, and handle use cases like extract travel booking details such as location and dates from an email. Now let's get into what's new with the Einstein vision. In the summer 20 release, our biggest news is Einstein OCR. Einstein OCR is like optical character recognition, makes data entry a thing of the past now by allowing you to extract text from any image. One of the example could be, like, say you are in a party, as a sales guy, you are in a party and you got some business card from one of the executives there. So you just quickly want to enter the data into your system. What you can do is you can just scan that business card and it automatically generates the contact information for you. Similarly, if you are working in the health domain, if you want to scan the patient referral forms and get all the data out of that referral form into your org, you can do it using this new feature. So what's great about the OCR API is it's already a pre-trained global model. You don't need to upload a data set to train the data. All you need to do is upload whatever image you want, and it's smart enough to extract the text for you. Here in this session, our product manager, Jimmy, gives an overview of these two Einstein updates about Einstein language and Einstein vision. And they also clearly explained the fundamental difference between the sentiment and intent. Okay, so I highly encourage that you go back and watch this session to understand more about Einstein and also see the latest updates. Okay. Oh, sorry, I clicked a link from there. One second. Let me stop share and reshare it. Oops. Did I lose the connection?
No, Satya, we can still hear you. Don't worry.
Oh, awesome. Okay, let me share my screen then.
Oh, sure.
Okay, there I go. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into our next update. That's about Salesforce APIs. And here in the slide, you can see all the APIs that are currently available on the Salesforce platform at a glance, like SOAP API, REST API, and Bulk API. There's one awesome session where the presenter has explained APIs, but by taking an analogy of surfing over the ocean. Okay, while you surf over the ocean, you see different kinds of waves that come up. So how to tackle those waves and how to go forward, he has really explained in a very nice way. And he also provided the use cases, for all of these APIs, how and when to use each of these APIs by providing a different set of use cases in this table. And he also talked about the two guiding principles that drive the new APIs, where he talked about with those principles, getting more work done in a single API call. That was the first principle he used. And the second principle was about reducing friction with the platform. And then he talked about our newest APIs. One is Composite API and the other one is Composite Graph API, where you can work with the composite objects using these APIs. And they also covered what's new with the Bulk API version 2.0. And most interestingly, what are the updates in the SOCL? So fields is one of the newest functions with which you can get multiple rows with a single command, something like select star from a table in SQL. We can get something like that even in SOCL now. And the next update is about Lighting Web Stack. And don't worry, I'm not going to take too much of time. Maybe another 5 or 6 minutes, I'll be done. But yeah, this is one of the important update. about the Lighting Web Stack, which essentially covered all the 5 layers of the stack and showed how you can build and run your apps anywhere. So the Lighting Web Stack provides important modules and services to build a trusted web app that can run anywhere. First, your code needs to be modular and open, which is where you use LWC built on modern standards. We also open source some of our base lighting components so that you don't have to start from the scratch. Next, the SLDS provides patterns and blueprints to design pixel perfect apps. The second part of building apps is making it secure. You can leverage lighting services like Lighting Locker that comes out of the box with LWC. And finally, making your code portable. The LDS make it easy to access Salesforce data and also includes powerful client-side caching technology. And Lighting Web Runtime makes it a snap to develop locally on your machine and build your apps to run on any platform. With the combination of this Lighting Web Runtime, which is very much new, and open source based lighting components, you can run your apps anywhere. And yeah, watch this session by Kevin Hill, who is the product manager for this lighting platform. He has covered very nicely all the 5 layers with a very nice example and demo on how to use the Lighting Web Stack. Long waiting ends both for my session, to complete my session, and at the same time for the developers as well. We know that LWC was launched almost a year back, and I have done a lot of sessions. I was going around meeting developers. One common question I had to encounter many times, and where I was like, I was hesitating to answer that question was, you said Salesforce platform is a no software platform where we don't install anything. But when it comes to lighting web components, you are asking us to install something there so that we can start working on the lighting web components. So why not have that on the cloud itself? Okay, so that's where I said like the long waiting ends, and we have introduced this new code builder, which is currently in a closed internal pilot, but it works on the web. And in this session, actually, Nate Totten and Stephanie showed us benefits of this new web-based IDE and how to get started. And this web-based IDE for Salesforce runs in your browser, as I said, and it supports modern developer workflows like CI/CD and also our favorite source-driven development, that's the Salesforce DX. And it's powered by Visual Studio Code Spaces, for a familiar, consistent experience, right? So at least some of them who have already started working on lighting web components are now well conversant with the Visual Studio Code. So your code builder also looks pretty much similar to that, and it has all the tools, not just for the developers, but also for the administrators. For instance, administrators wants to run the query builder, they can do that. Okay. Before I close this part, let me show you a quick demo. Let me share my screen for a demo on Code Builder.
Let's first see how we work on projects in VS Code. I'm in VS Code and working on a property filter component. I can see some errors there with red squiggles, and let me fix it. Let's fix the spacing issue with the Prettier plugin by running the command format document from the command palette. Let's save the property filter component and test it. You can click on the beaker icon, select property filter, and click play button to run the test. It looks just good, so let's save it. We can now check the component on local development server before deploying it to the sandbox. I can do that, but I want to check how my component works in the mobile. Now we can also check the component on mobile emulator right from your VS Code. Let's do that. Right click on the property filter component and select preview component locally. We can test it using browser, Android or iOS simulator. Let's test it using iOS simulator. And as I do this, you can see the component in the simulator now. I can interact with it and see how it works. Awesome. We can now deploy it to the sandbox. Now, I wanted to help my friend start working on this project using new Salesforce code builder instead of VS Code. I just opened the code builder where you can see all the workspaces of different projects. Now, let's create a workspace by clicking new workspace and just by giving it a name. In few seconds, Salesforce developer environment will be created. This environment is provisioned with all the developer tools needed to build a Salesforce application, like Heroku CLI, Salesforce CLI, and the VS Code extensions, and everything else to start working. Instead of using the newly created workspace, I can switch out to the one I've already created. Let's open the property filter component and check how this version in my friend's org is different from the version I deployed in the sandbox by using the diff tool. By the way, we are sharing the same sandbox together. I can see the fixes done. Now we can retrieve the difference from the org using retrieve source from the org. We can also retrieve any other components deployed in the sandbox to my development environment in the code builder using the org browser extension. Now I can create new components as well. With Salesforce code builder for the first time, we can now create, test, deploy and debug Lightning components completely in the browser without downloading any software.
Yes. So that was about the code builder. And yeah, I would like to skip this community and ecosystem slides because I know you all know the benefits of community. At least let me quickly tell you that, like, when you're in the community as a trailblazers, you always get the inspiration from other trailblazers. And there are things like Trailblazer Connect, with which you can get connected to the other community members and stuff. And there's a program called Mentor, where you can match a mentor and learn from the mentor, so on and so forth. There are many things which were covered by this Becky and Shilin in these 5 ways to level up your career with Trailblazer community. And there is one session with which you can learn how to build your resume for the future. And now that we have around 30 certifications and 18 super badges, which can be added to your credentials in your resume. And last update I want to give in the community is about Trailhead Go. This is the new Salesforce app with which you can work on the Trailhead platform, learn new stuff right from your mobile using the Trailhead Go app. And Sarah has covered really nice with an example and demo on how to use this new app. With that said, I'm at the end. Thanks for your patience. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions. In fact, if you want to save some time, you can put your questions in the chat window. I'll try to answer the questions in the chat window itself if you want.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very much, Satya. I think there are a couple of questions, Satya. You can see them in the chat window if you can scroll a little up and maybe take some of them like one by one.
Sure. Let me see.
So I think starting with, someone asked at 707, how to invoke Salesforce functions from Flow. Is it normal Apex invocable function?
Okay, let me quickly see that question. How to invoke Salesforce functions from Flow? Is it normal Apex invocable function? Yeah, it's just like your normal Apex invocable function, and you can call it as if you are calling an Apex function there. But yeah, it's going to be a Salesforce function though. Okay, then does OCR works on all business cards, or does it only work on business cards with specific format? Yeah, that's what I was telling. In fact, this particular, in the case of OCR, we are not even training the model, right? So it's already trained. It has many different samples, so it can identify any. There is no particular format. You just put a business card, it's going to scan and it's going to get the data for you. So as teased us by showing SFDC functions and code builder working like this, and they're not available, you should give. Okay, cool. That's I take it as a good comment. Yep, it's going to be available. Currently, they are internal pilot. Yeah, I'm not in fact teasing. I'm trying to only show, as I said, forward looking. It's going. We are going to probably work on that soon. Okay, I think the Salesforce functions medium means freedom from governor limits. Salesforce functions, the sole purpose is to invoke the functions from other platforms. For instance, if you have a functionality on Node.js and you want to use that functionality on Salesforce platform, that's where Salesforce functions are going to be more helpful. Like you need not really rewrite the code, or the things which are not possible on Salesforce platform, which are already done on Node.js, you can directly use that functionality. Finalizer is already there in beta with summer release. You can go ahead and you can start working. You can start trying the finalizer. And again, safe navigation operator is also there in the summer release. You can start using it. Okay, this is an interesting question. Does Salesforce function require Docker for running functions locally? Yes, at the moment, you might have to install Docker. Yep. I think that's pretty much of the questions. I hope I answered your questions. If not, you can reach me on my Twitter handle. I'll try to answer your questions. Even if you can send me a direct message, I'll try to get back to those questions as well. With that said, back to you, Atul.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Satya. I think you highlighted some really good sessions. Again, we always get a little, actually a lot overwhelmed with all the sessions going on in Dreamforce and TDX alike. But you highlighting those sessions from a developer perspective is definitely very, very useful to all of us. Again, frankly, even I missed a couple of those sessions when you highlighted, hey, okay, there was a session on this as well. I totally missed it. I guess we should. Oh yeah, I guess we should have a separate session on how to use the agenda builder in TrailheaDX and Dreamforce. We'll definitely have that, guys. Great. Thank you, Satya. Thank you very much. I think this was awesome. Now, next up, guys, we've got our very own Sushant. Guys, first of all, I would like to congratulate Sushant on becoming a co-leader in New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group. So, guys, please do congratulate him. And Sushant is still there.
Yeah, and it's my opportunity as well. Congratulations, Sushant, and thanks for telling that, Atul.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's been doing. Yeah, Sushant has been doing awesome work, and he'll continue to do some really great work. We've got some really big plans in the future. Sushant, over to you.
Thank you so much, Atul. Am I audible, right?
You're perfectly audible. Yes. Please go on and share your screen. Satya, if you can just unshare your screen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Satya, for the session. I think both of the sessions of Satya and Kelly was really awesome. I think we got lots of new things happening in our Salesforce ecosystem.
Sushant, if you can come a little closer to the mic and speak a little slowly.
Yeah, now am I audible?
You're audible, yeah, but yeah, great.
Okay. Let me share my screen really quick.
Yes, we can see your screen, your Outlook. There you go. Now we can see your PPT.
Yeah, I think most of the topics I think Satya already covered in his admin updates. So I will not take too much of time. I will just go through the top 10 features which has been released in our this Summer 20 release. First of all, so before starting my session, I would like to thank our two superb speakers joined us today, and both the sessions are quite awesome. Okay, guys. So my name is Sushant. I become a lightning champion this year in March, and Recently, Atul already announced like I have become a group leader in New Delhi Salesforce developer, and I would like to thank Atul for this opportunity and believing in me. And so thank you so much, Atul. And definitely we will work together for a longer time, and we will do some awesome stuff in Salesforce. So just a brief introduction about myself, guys. I am a Salesforce certified admin and developer, as well as I'm a certified Copilot administrator and developer as well. Um, I've been the part of Gen2 Salesforce program running by our awesome India developer relationship. So I was a part of this particular group, initiative as a mentor, and I'm working in this Salesforce ecosystem since 2 years. And and as a part of the Delhi Salesforce Developer Group member, I involved in various initiatives running by this awesome group. Like one of them is Impact Salesforce Saturday, Mentorship Central, and Talent Center. So yeah, so just a brief introduction about our New Delhi Salesforce Developer Group. So we are in existence since 2016, and we are also active on our social media as well. So you can follow us on Twitter. We have our official website, the New Delhi SFDC.com. So you can visit our website where you can get to know about our upcoming sessions and initiatives, as well as you can also visit our past sessions held previously. Um, and again, yeah, we also have our Trailblazer community group link, so you can visit our this group as well to know about our upcoming sessions. Yeah, so guys, one of our initiatives is Impact Salesforce Saturday. I think most of them you are already aware about that. So in this particular initiative, we come up with uh, every Saturday of the month with a new topic, or we are majorly focused on conducting a series every month, so that you people can get to know about topic in Salesforce from end to end. So you can also so you can visit our website and you can watch out our comment sections. So currently we are running LWC series under the umbrella of this Impact Salesforce Saturday, and this is one of the newest initiative we bring out to Salesforce ecosystem. So I think Atul, would you like to take the lead and explain what is this all about?
Sure. Sure, Sushant. Thank you very much. So, guys, the Talent Central is a unique platform. Again, it's a program, it's a platform. So we are not going to be sitting down with you, putting you in, kind of teaching you anything. It's a platform. It's an automation platform where, so think of it like Indeed.com or Naukri.com, but for right now freshers and only in Salesforce ecosystem. Maybe later on we are going to open it up for experienced people and maybe outside Salesforce, but right now it's going to remain Salesforce only for the foreseeable future. So this program, where the student, so there are two parts to this. There's the candidate or the student part to it, since this is only for students right now, and then there's the HR part of it. So if you go to this URL Talent Central Global, it will redirect you to a site page where you can create your login as a student, and you'll be logged in, and then you can just fill out all the details, and your data will come into our system. You can also provide a link to your CV. You can provide a link to your LinkedIn, Trailhead profile, and everything. You can also input like what's the minimum salary you would love to get, what are the different cities you would like to work in. So, for example, you're in Mumbai and you are okay with going to, let's say, Hyderabad and Bangalore, but you're not okay going to Chennai or Delhi or Kolkata, then you can do that. Now, the whole point of collecting all this data from students, from people who are trying to get into the Salesforce ecosystem, is the HRs who are going to be on the other side of the portal, they'll be able to search you guys and filter out people on the basis of that data. So if an HR is only looking for a person who has done 100 Trailhead badges, right? I'm just throwing it out, right? or if the HR is only looking for a person who's ready to shift, or who is ready to join in Jaipur, or ready to join in Mumbai, or ready to join in Goa, maybe. So they can, the HR can filter them out, and they'll be able to then start contacting those guys. So that's the whole platform. That's the whole scene. The student side of things is up and running. We've already got more than 250 registrations on the platform. Again, guys, please, reach out to as many people, tell them about the platform so that they can also put their data in. The HR side of things, the beta is already in place. We are slowly and steadily opening it up to HRs. Again, guys, uh, convincing human resources people of different companies uh, is a little difficult, and we thought it will be difficult, and it turned out to be a lot more difficult than we initially thought. So we are trying to convince them. We're trying to get them on the platform one by one, and once they're going to see the 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 power of the platform, things are going to start moving, and this engine is going to start moving. So the beauty of this platform is no interference is required from a human perspective. We can serve as low as one student and one HR to as many as 200 or 20,000 students and hundreds of HRs. So this is scalable like anything. So guys, please join the platform, implore your friends, or your brothers and sisters, or anyone who you are in touch with who are looking for jobs in the Salesforce ecosystem, and especially as freshers, to sign on the platform and make full use of this platform. Sushant.
Thank you, Atul. Yeah, so guys, this is again our another initiative, Mentorship Center. So this is a platform where we are connecting mentors and mentees. So mentors are those who are Salesforce expertise and they're experts, and they want to share their knowledge with them.
Sushant, again, I'm really sorry to cut you off there. If you can come a little more closer to the mic and speak a little slowly, you'll be much more clearer.
Sorry, my bad. Am I audible now?
You're audible,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, just come close and
Okay.
speak a little slowly. That's it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so this is another initiative of our new Delhi Salesforce developer group. So here we are connecting our mentors with the mentee, so that those who joined the Salesforce ecosystem, and they are very early, and they are want to know about how they can explore their career in Salesforce. So they can register themselves as a mentee, and they can connect with one of our mentors, and then mentor will guide them throughout their learning journey. So again, this is again one of the most useful platform you can leverage, and you can explore your future in Salesforce. Okay, so let's quickly go through this, the topic of our today's session, 10 features of Summer 20. So yeah, the first one is like split view. So I'm not going to explain, I'm just simply go and show the demo. Yeah, so for exploring these new features, so you have to like have a org having the update of summer 20. Okay, so I have just created a new this new org, and in that I will show so what the split view is. So like if you go to any of the object, and you can see that this is a traditional list view. Okay, so what we have to do, like suppose if you have to open uh, record um, one or two records through this list view, then what you have to do, either you have to uh, open this record and then view that, and then I go back to list view, and then uh, open the new one. Okay, or you want to open this account details in different tabs. Okay, but in order to make this accessibility of records more easy, Salesforce announced a new feature, which is split view. So if you go to this, this is a new uh, look and feel. Okay, through that you can leverage this new functionality. So what you have to do, just simply click on this split list view, and you can see like here you can see all your record details, sorry, record list. And if you want to access one of the record, then you just simply have to click on this, and at the right side you can see all the details. And suppose if you want to open another account, so just simply go to the left section and click on the another account. So this particular feature like becomes very handy if you want to access uh, more than one record frequently. Again, this will also save your time. So this is a new feature comes up in 720 release, so you can use of that. And yeah, so this is dynamic forms. So guys, dynamic forms and dynamic actions, I think this is one of the hottest uh, updates or hottest topics going on in our Salesforce ecosystem as a part of no code love initiative by Salesforce. So let's go to the demo of this. So basically dynamic forms is like let's suppose if you talk about like if you have a page layout, okay, and if you want to add some fields and some sections in your page layout, then what you do, you simply go to object, and then you will go to the page layout, and then you can change all these page layout settings through that. But through dynamic forms, you can also leverage this same functionality on a on your record page. So what you have to do, so you simply have to like uh, go to one of your object. So guys, currently dynamic forms is only available for custom objects. It's not for your standard objects right now. So so you have to like if you want to use dynamic forms, so you should have some custom objects in your org. And one of like prerequisites before using that dynamic form, so like you have to activate that. So for that, what you have to do, you have to go to setup, and search for record settings, record type settings. One second, guys. Yeah, now search for record settings. Yeah, here you can see this is a record page settings. Just go there, and here you can see like this is a toggle button. So you just have to enable it before using dynamic font, or if you want to customize your uh, record page in order to leverage this functionality. So that's all. You just have to simply enable that, and you are good to go to test it. So again, go to this your app launcher, or if you have already created a tab for your custom object, like I have created this employee. Yeah, so this is your record page. Just simply go and click on this edit page. So here you can see like in your left sidebar there's a section of fields. So if you click that, so you can see this is like this is a new uh, functionality which is provided by Salesforce as a part of dynamic form functionality. So you simply have to like what you have to do. Let's if you want to create a new section, then you simply drag and drop this and put here. You can see Salesforce automatically creates a section what we previously do on page layout, and then if you want to add fields, so simply drag and drop fields. And you can see here, like here it's showing like you can also, for the section you can also set it whether you want the section as a one column or two column, as well as you can also set the visibility of that particular section on basis of like, if you have some logics on the basis of fields you want to show. So you can add that, and you can do the same on a field. If you want to make that field as a required or read only, you can do along with that here as well. And you can also set the field visibility. So let's suppose uh, this is a age field, and if I want to set a visibility, so what I can add, I just simply add a simple filter, like if conditional filter, like if field name is not equal to blank, then that particular field should be visible, and make it as a read only. And you simply just click on save and activate it. I'm assigning as a default for now. And yeah, just go back to your record page. So you can see, yeah, so here you can see a new section is added. And let's check that. Let's if, here you can see like we have added a field visibility condition over there. Like if field name is not blank, then we have to show age field. So you can see whenever I make this particular field as a blank, then age field becomes invisible through the page layout. And if I again add some value and click outside, you can see it's visible. So you can leverage this particular feature as well. This is again a part of our 20. Let's go ahead. I think in-app guidance, Satya already explained. So let's move ahead in order to save our time. Yeah. So as a part of Summer 20 release, Salesforce introduces the two view for your record detail page. Previously, we have a group view where we show the page layout as a part of in a part of sections. Like here you can see in a group view, like your detail are showing as other two sections. Okay, or you can see in a group manner. Okay, but that this new full view is basically mainly focus on your data dense view. And in this you can see all your data in the form of your related list, or what we previously we can see it's similarly like as a view of your classic. So in that you can see all your details in the related list. So this is a new. So those who are majorly want to focus on your only the data, don't want to focus on this group version, so they can use this full view. So this is again one of the feature. Next one is okay, yeah, and the features provided by Salesforce is a alert for big deals. So alert for big deals is basically, let's suppose if there's an opportunity, okay, and if your sales rep got a big opportunity, and you can add a factor on which basis you can treat that particular opportunity as a, like let's suppose if it's more than $1 lakh, okay. So so for your business this is again one of the big opportunities. So, and if, in that case, if you want to trigger some emails to those who really want to know about this big deal, uh, which will going to happen with your company. So, so you can leverage this particular functionality, big deal alerts. So what you have to simply do, you have to go to setup and search for a big deal alert. And you can, like here you can see in this image, under the opportunity you can see there's an option big deal alert. You simply go there and add your details and on what basis this particular feature will treat, okay, this particular opportunity is uh, a big opportunity, or it's a big deal for our business. So you will add here, you can see if amount range between 1 lakh to 2 lakh, or 2 lakh to 5 lakh, so you can add that particular uh, factor. And then under that you can also see there's an option like to whom you want to send the notifications. So you can add your concerned parties email IDs and save it. So as soon as this type of opportunity gets created in your org, uh, this big deal functionality will automatically trigger uh, the email notification to all the concerned parties. So this is really one of the handy uh, feature provided by Salesforce for the sales team. And another feature provided by Salesforce in summer 20 is the Einstein search. So see, I think everyone who log into Salesforce org, then you can see there's a global search box where you can search for any type of object, any type of record. Okay, so Einstein search with basically enhance the capability of that particular search. Okay, so this particular Einstein search have three pillars, which is your pers- personalization. Second one is natural language processing. Okay, and the third one is actionable. Actionable. So personalizations means like it will, if you search for any object or any record, so it will only show the list of those records who is basically belong to you, or which is meaningful for you. And how Einstein search will do that? It basically work on the history or the nature of work you have done in your past, or like what type of records you have opened. So you can let's take an example. If you are just working on accounts which is related to India, so and if you are searching for accounts, so Einstein search will personalize your search, and uh, on the basis of your past searching on account object, it will show records according to that. So the second one is natural language search. So natural language search is basically let's suppose if you want to search your opportunities. Okay, so what you can do is simply go to search box and type my opportunities and just click enter. So natural language processing is basically Einstein will try to understand what you are want to search. You don't have to this is not something a static searching. Like let's suppose you want to search account, or if you want to search a record of Sushant, so you don't need to type only Sushant. It's not a like a static searching, which is basically searching on a keyword. It's simply try to understand what you're trying to search, or it can also have a capability to read the phrase. Okay, so let's suppose I'll type uh, search my account. So it will try to it will understand that command, and then on the basis of that it will show you the appropriate results. So this is again Einstein search is basically using the power of AI. And the next one is Einstein reply recommendation. So it's basically a part of Service Cloud. So I think you most of them visited many of your website where you can see chat box functionality implemented by that particular company. So what what you can do, like you simply go over there and type your query, and either you will get some automated answer, or some agent will connect to you, and they will try to resolve that query. So Einstein reply recommendation is basically do the same, but in a like very wisely manner. What it will do, whenever user answers ask some query, so it will search for all the conversation which is happened in the past, and if there are some articles already prepared by the team, so they can again go to that, and on the basis of the query they can search for the past data which is already exist, and on the basis of that they will try to answer your customer. So this is again one of the best feature, which basically use our service agents time as well as efforts, and try to resolve as many as queries in an automated form. No user intervention needed. And again, this is again one of the important topics going on right now. Very trendy topic, and I think Satya already explained about that. And last month we also conducted a session on this Salesforce Einstein OCR, so you can visit our website and you can go through this session. So I'm skipping this. This one is attached .csv file to report subscription. Okay, so this is again one of the useful features. So what this particular feature gives you, let's suppose you have created is a record, and you want to get the data of record as a CSV file in your email every day at a particular specific time. So what you can do, you can schedule your report, and in that and while scheduling that report, you can like uh, there's an option you can see here, attachment. So here you can go and you can select the .csv file uh, as an attachment, and schedule this report. So what this will do, let's suppose I've scheduled a report, account report every day at 3 p.m. IST. So and I have added attachment at the CSV. So what this particular report do, uh, every day at 3 p.m. it will grab the data on account, create a report, and then it will send that report in a CSV format to my email ID what I have configured. So again, this is important feature if you want to get to know about something on a frequent basis. So you don't need to create a report every day. Just simply schedule it and you will get your data in your account. Yeah. So and the important topic is optimizer app. So basically, optimizer app is like so let's suppose if you have a or which is like around 5 or 7 years old, okay, and so there are lots of data and lots of custom functionality built in your org, and somehow your org becomes very slow, and its performance is degraded due to any reason. So you simply like use this Salesforce optimizer feature. What you have to do, you simply have to go to your org and search for Salesforce optimizer, and then you have to run this optimizer. So what this particular optimizer do, it will scan your entire org and try to find out all the things, all which is not working correctly, or which is like somehow impacting your performance, your org, and it will like show this particular detail. So I have ran this optimizer, I think 3 or 4 hours before, and this is the report what I get to know. So here you can see it also show you the status and what the next action, whether you want to have some review on this or whether no action required from your side. So you can see like some of these things, this optimizer saying like they just go and review this. So you can just go here and you can review what actions you have to do in order to resolve this particular issue, so that you can avoid your degradation of performance in your org. So this is again one of the important features in 720. And yeah, debugging more, debug more faster in flow. So I think Satya already covered about the features as a part of summer 20 this was provided to us. So you can like leverage the debugging of flow, uh, like you can also use this, you can also enable this rollback mode. So let's suppose if whenever your flow uh, start firing, and if it's like execute your some triggers on your other objects as well, and if that particular transaction got failed, so then that process will be rolled back. So you can also leverage this feature, try to explore this. And yes, I think that's all uh, for me. I think we are also running out of time. That's why I have to wrap up very quickly. And these are some my uh, social media links, so you can follow me on Twitter. Our website is here. You can visit our upcoming session and past sessions as well. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn. And if you have any questions, try to connect me on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I will definitely try to resolve your queries. All right, so that's all from my end. Thank you so much, guys. And I think as we are running out of time, and let's directly jump into our quiz. So, guys, today we are giving three certification vouchers to our top three winners of Kahoot. So, just give me 1 minute. I am just opening the quiz. Yeah. I'm sharing my screen, guys. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can, Sushant.
I can see we have 77 participants in our list, and till now we have only 53 players joined. So, guys, we will just wait for 1 more minute, and then we will start. So, those who have not joined yet, guys, please try to join as soon as possible so that we can start. So So guys, this quiz consists of 10 questions. Uh, top 3 participants having highest points will win certification vouchers today. All right, I think most of them joined and we are good to start. Okay, so guys, I'm starting the quiz. Good luck. Krishna, Naresh, Nihal playing very well. Keep going, guys. Next question. Which of the following is a benefit for customers, partners, but not for employees? Next question. Which protocol allows secure data sharing between applications? OAuth, SAML, XML, OpenID. Let's go to the next question. Krishna playing really well. Naresh and Samir. Great job, guys. Keep playing. Which feature is not the part of summer 20 release? Good to see like most of them know about. Awesome. Next question. It's a true false question, guys. Seventh question. Which is not the pillar of Einstein's search? Eighth question. This is the last question, guys. Which is the newest tool Salesforce introduced for developers? So congratulations, Naresh, Krishna, and Himanshu. These are our today's Kahoot winner and winners of certification, Salesforce certification voucher. So congratulations to three of all. Thank you. And so I would like to thank our speakers, Satya and Kelly, for joining with us, and hope you guys enjoyed our today's session. Uh, Thank you so much, Satya, for joining us today and sharing your awesome TrailheaDX or new releases of Salesforce with us.
Thank you, Sushant, Atul, Vishal, and the Delhi Developer Group for showing so much patience. And I really enjoyed every bit of session. That's the reason I was here till end. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much, Satya. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, guys, for joining today's event. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys learned something new here. And before wrapping up this session, guys, tomorrow we have a Journey to Salesforce event. So those who have participated in this, please make sure please try to join our J2S event. I think started from 10 a.m. in the morning, and our trail mix sessions by our speakers will be started by 11 a.m. in the morning. So if you are registered, if you are a part of this awesome initiative by our development team, then definitely try to join, and I will see you there. And also uh, tomorrow we have one Impact Salesforce Saturday session with Saktivel Madesh. He is a very well-known personality and also a Salesforce MVP. So tomorrow we have our last session of LWC series, and we are giving away one certification voucher for a Kahoot winner. Uh, so try to be a part of that particular session as well, and you will also get two winner Salesforce certificate voucher tomorrow. All right, I think we are good to wrap up. Thank you so much everyone for joining, and thank you so much Satya again. Uh, have a great day, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy this moment with your family. Bye bye. Take care. Vishal, are you on?
Yes, Prashant.
So have you got the email ID from our winners?
Yes, I got them.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you, Vishal.